We are, collectively, well aware of the most famous portrayal of our ancestors' encounter with Pharaoh from the book of Exodus, and our retellings in the Passover seder. Pharaoh is depicted as harsh, demanding our ancestors build the store cities of Pithom and Ramses. He's presented as cruel, demanding the death of Israelite baby boys. He's presented as recalcitrant, a synonym for stubborn that simply sounds more damning, which is why I've used it here. Pharaoh, we can all agree, is not a friend of the Israelites and is bad news for the Jews. Except in this week's Torah portion. The Pharaoh of Parashat Miketz is, well, curious, kind, interested in meritocracy, so welcoming to Joseph that Joseph ends up marrying an Egyptian priest's daughter and raising two kiddos with Egyptian names. So welcoming that he put Joseph in a chariot wearing his royal robe and had everyone bow to him before putting him in charge of the land of Egypt. The relationship between Joseph and the old Pharaoh, not the one who later knew not Joseph clearly, is what enabled Joseph to succeed. It isn't until that new day arrived in the book of Exodus with new leadership, with a Pharaoh who knew not Joseph, that the tide began to change. The common thread running through the stories of Pharaoh in Genesis and Exodus, the leaders who were good for the Jews and bad for the Jews respectively, is the Israelites' connection to something or someone beyond the boundaries of their immediate experiences. Joseph, when interpreting Pharaoh's dreams, makes clear that it isn't him but God doing that, a thread of connection and identity that runs through changing his hair and his clothes and his status. The Israelites, when they are suffering in bondage in Egypt, also hold firm to their community and identity and God as well. Our dueling texts, they teach us that there will always be a new Pharaoh, and there will always be Israelites, and that they'll be the ones leaning into the core of their identity when the going gets tough.